We're going to wrangle this week with Liz Storer and with Joe Hildebrand. We've been wrangling in the break. We're all
We have.
That was just a warm-up wrangle.
Just a warm-up. Well, look, let's start off with Fiona Scott. God loves those Libs, especially those moderate Libs. Libs, they really love to fight the Labor Party and make it all about good governance. No, she did this morning.
How long do you give her?
I don't know. I mean, a day's a long time in politics, Carl, so...
That's not exactly a ringing endorsement.
Not much confidence there.
Well, you know, it could be a day. It won't be a day. I'm being cheeky.
Liz, you got to do better than that, don't you?
You do. I mean, look, we know that it was a very tight vote. Lee, I should say, only won by 3 votes. So, of course, there's going to be quite a bit of bloodletting, and basically half your party room didn't want ya. So at least Scott's being honest, and we don't have to wonder how she voted, do we?
Oh, no, I would have thought she's a moderate. I would have thought she's a supporter of Lee, but it's just this... The whole idea, Joe, of just getting caught up in the Liberal factions games. She won the leadership. Get behind her. Start talking about what you need to talk about.
You would think so, wouldn't you? I mean, the day she got the leadership, people said, right, now the bloodletting's going to start. The bloodletting's meant to be what the leadership ballot actually stops, not the other way around. But Sussan Ley is obviously, it is a bit of a poison chalice. I mean, notwithstanding the inevitable infighting and finger-pointing that's going to go on for the next 3 years, what happens in 2028? I would put my money on Josh Frydenberg coming back, knocking off Monique Ryan, and then the leadership would be his too.
Yeah, but that's all so far. What people are forgetting here, and I say loosely the Canberra Press Gallery, it's all about this thumping win to Labor, yada. Yeah, great win. Lots of people in Parliament, yada, yada, yada. We all know that. But they are still running a shambolic government that's got real problems with cost of living, electricity prices, the budget, all sorts of security issues. So it's not going to be long till they're under pressure. So Sussan Ley, within weeks, really, should be starting to put pressure on the government. The whole game changes then.
Well, that's their job. But for as long as we've got members like this barking from the sidelines at their own leadership, this is the last thing the opposition needs right now. We need a very strong opposition because you're quite right. This government is now very full of itself, and they should be. That was a very comprehensive win. They're now very, very confident. Now is the time that we need an extra strong opposition to shoot them down as soon as they possibly can, get some wins in the bag and say, see, we are a viable opposition to this government. Yeah,
Labor don't want to believe their own publicity, right? It was good politics. Hats off. They won the political contest and they got a big majority. But it's not a reward for good government. So their big weakness could be hubris. And in this case, I think hubris comes in the name of Chris Bowen. Have a look.
So I take that as well as an endorsement, as I said in an op-ed today, by the silent majority to say, keep going, get on with the job.
That endorsement of his renewable energy plan. Just keep rolling out those windmills. Chris, we're right behind you.
Well, I don't know if it was an endorsement of Labor's energy plan, but it was certainly a disendorsement of the coalitions, which was really a Clayton's plan. It didn't seem to have one. And I think that's the biggest challenge that Sussan Ley is going to face. From which direction does the coalition attack Labor's energy policy, which they will say is driving the cost of living? They're already 2050 is now up for grabs. That's going to cause them trouble in teal seats. And at the same time, nuclear has been, they've said, well, we should throw out nuclear. There have been calls from moderates to do that.
Yes, the moderates.
Where does this end up?
Well, eventually reality has to get a look in, right? And that is, how do you have an electricity system that works? No one should be pretending what we're doing at the moment works. And the Liberals they hardly talked about energy during the campaign.
No, well, not nearly enough. And the thing that makes me laugh about Bowen saying, well, our comprehensive win, this majority we've now got in the House, that is an endorsement specifically of our energy policies. I've said it before, and this isn't true of you because you watch Sky, so you know the truth. But the vast majority of Australians are not intimately familiar with each party's policies when they go to the polls. They've stood on enough polling booths over enough years to know plenty of people vote because they don't want to risk the fine if they don't, because we have mandatory voting here. So for him to then say, oh, this is the silent majority's endorsement of all I'm doing, driving up energy prices, putting up windmill farms, solar farms in the most ridiculous places, clearing hectares and hectares of great land, putting the farmers through nightmares, etc. and so on. Nobody's endorsing that, sir. But yes, you guys did win. But to say it was on the back of their energy policies, which who knows how many people who went to the polling booths were even aware
We
of.
get away with it
That's
politically
just
because the numbers are there.
You can,
but when prices go up again or we have blackouts again, well, that's when reality catches up.
Well, no, Chris, it was a silent endorsement by the silent majority on a policy upon which the Labor Party was silent throughout the campaign. So it's something like that. But again, the difficulty is, and I think he will go ahead with it. And Bowen is smart and capable, and he'll push ahead. He's all in anyway. So whatever we agree, whatever you think of it, it is going to happen. But again, the problem is the coalition is so divided on it, and energy policy kills governments and it kills oppositions.
Yeah, but it's always worked for the coalition when they've been on the side of good, cheap energy. It's only killed the opposition when they've matched the Greens and Labor on net zero and the rest of it. That's
how hard is it to be the leader and say, look, Australia is responsible for 1.3% of global emissions. We are not cutting out fossil fuels in a hurry whatsoever. Yeah. And until, when and if the technology catches up, that we can do this in a timely way, we're not doing it.
Perhaps we do what Russia, America, China and India does. That'll be a good guide. Oh, look,
invade Ukraine.
Just very quickly, let's have a look at what the Council of Sydney, the Sydney City Council has done. They've closed their parks. Have a look. One of the reasons they say they're closing their parks to public events. I mean, what do you have parks for if not for public events? No, we're not going to see that. Well, it says that climate change is accelerating severe weather events, and that makes it difficult for them to have parks in their have events in their parks. Yep. And when you can't have that food festival in Hyde Park, it's because of climate change. That's why we've got to go with Chris Bowen and have windmills everywhere there, apparently.
She is the death of fun, isn't she? I mean, this is obviously Clover Moore positioning herself. All the inner city lovies don't like these festivals that interrupt their, if it was an artistic film festival, that'd be fine.
That'd be fine. And any protests, any anti-Israeli protests, I'll let them in the park.
Oh, of course. Well, they have notably made exceptions for Mardi Gras and the Yabun Festival.
Of course.
So it's like, gee, I wonder what your priorities are.
We're going to keep wrangling here on the desk